Hey everybody, this is the first episode of How'd You Do It Wednesday, on which every week I'll post a photo that I shot, explain how I created it, and hopefully this will help inspire others to take photos, or if they have questions about how I did what I did, feel free to leave it in the comments below. For this shot here, this is the model K Marie. I shot this in 2016. I used a Nikon D7200. With this shot, this was around 2 or 3 p.m. But as you can tell, it definitely looked like it's in the evening, nighttime, and that's because when I exposed for the ambient, I dropped it down. I want to say 2 stops, so I was probably at f6 or f8 because you can kind of tell the background is pretty in focus. So it must have been 5 or 6, 5, 6 or 8. Then with that, I had 2 strobes. I was using poppers at the time, which means basically poppers basically make a flash go off, but you don't actually have control of the flash, so you have to manually adjust it. So I use a popper, and the front was a soft box, and the back was a bare flash. As you can tell, it was a small soft box. You can tell how hard the shadow transitions are. So I think that when I had the softbox, I did not have any diffusion panels on. I just had the exposed flash being magnified by the softbox because I wanted to keep the light in control so that it doesn't touch the background, so that it just stays focused on the model. So while I didn't want to get a spotlight, I still wanted some softness. That's my cat. I did want some softness, but at the same time, I wanted the light to sculpt her face and her body. Yeah, you just have to hear that cat in the background. And then in the back, you see there's this hair light. Just aimed right at the hair because I wanted the detail to show up. And of course, wearing white, she's already going to pop in the image. But I just want to kind of keep the light focused on her. So I had it, like I said before, either the 5.6 or f8 is darker in the background and in the foreground, but the light stays moderately exposed correctly in the mid part of the pictures. I wanted to keep your visual attention on the model because she's already wearing white, so that's going to automatically make your eyes look at her. But I also want to make sure she was exposed, but it's definitely slightly overexposed because of the white. So it's kind of a hard thing to play because she's wearing white, and you've got the color tones in the background and foreground that you gotta be aware of. Now, could have masked this and then tweaked it to and layers to bring back the detail or to lower the exposure of the white. But I don't know. I think I just kind of liked how it looked. I definitely just this is the first time I really played around with lighting to that effect of flagging the light to make sure it just was focused on a model instead of letting the light hit everything. But yeah, I was pretty proud of this shot when I took it. I think if I took this shot now, I probably would have used a long softbox that's long but narrow, that's gridded, and had it set at a Rembrandt angle and done it. So it would have been more light across her upper body and lower body, but at the same time, because of the grid, it would keep the light controlled just on her. So I'd probably been the only one to change it. And of course, as I implied, I would have probably tweaked it in post to get rid of the hot spot on her stomach to bring up more of the detail in the white. So I definitely feel like I did lose detail in the white, but I still feel like it kind of works well because to me, as long as you can see the details in the face, that was more important to me than the hot spot in the stomach. And then in post, I added some greens into the blacks and yellows into the highlights to bring out a fashion like color grading, but at the same time, I wanted to kind of make sure the greens really popped because I feel like when I was shooting this, there might not have been as green as I wanted, so I took that into consideration with the color grading to give it that effect. All right. Thank you guys for listening to this. And as I said before, if you have any questions, feel free to leave in the comments. Or if you have questions about photography in general, feel free to leave in the comments. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.